Yeah, okay, mate. POLYX and VARNY. Yeah, sorry for the missed video. I've been really flat out building alerts and stuff, trying to build automated alerts. So yeah, sorry for that. But let's have a look here. Yeah, a new 9-week. You know, it's obviously the market is bad right now. We're getting these pullbacks. The 2-week is deep red. It's into a very important point right now, right here at this stop hunt level. So we just need to be aware of that before we move up in time frames. I just want to get that right, somewhere there. Not saying it's definitely holding or anything, but it's important to watch because there's 3 days left. This is deep red on the 2-week. You know, can we create some sort of a bounce into the end of the 2-week and create a wick? Well, that remains to be seen. The market is pretty red today. You know, we're in that bearish trend. So the VARNY on a new 9-week, I like it, right? I would prefer to be able to buy in here, right? A little bit like here. In a way, if you bought down in the middle or in the retrace of the candle, you know, you would have done well. Here as well, if you bought in the retrace of the candle, you could have done very well. Now, some of those are, well, obviously if you bought here, it did go down here, but if you bought in the middle range of the candle, for example, you know, that was a 357% bounce. The time before that, if you bought in the middle range of that breakup candle, in the retrace, there was still a 100% bounce. But this is, no question about it, a larger rejection with volume, and we're seeing that dip right now. You know, this I suppose it is right there. I mean, it's more of a, it's not right there. It's not, the support is not right on there. It's probably this area here that needs to hold down into the bottom of that candle. That does need to hold. I don't think it's going to get there just yet, but you just never know. At this point, I would think that this liquidity can be taken at some point, but I think the safest place is to be looking for buys down on here. If we, you know, flip back, you can see what that is. It's kind of implying that there can be more dip and more dips down into here. Let's keep looking to see if we can find anything else. You know, it is suggesting, obviously, now that price is down below here, there's where you want to be buying below it. Now, ideally, price should get down in here for a better potential. Now, if I bring that across, you can start to see a support level being formed right across here, right? So I'll continue that across. So down here looks to be a very good level. Where's that volume? That volume's on top, and this volume is down below. Let's break it down a bit more. You know, below this pivot here starts to get into the interesting point and a decent point to be buying. Ideally, more of a dip would be better in my opinion. But for example, sometimes it's not easy and it can be choppy. For example, let's just look at the last one, right? If you found the first pivot like this, all right, so there was a pivot there and there was a lot of this crap. But if you had accumulated below this first pivot and bought here and then bought here and maybe added there or whatever, you know, were you buying in a good area? Yes, in theory you were buying in a good area and it moved to the upside. That is similar for here. There's a lot of liquidity up here in this large 9-week wick. So it is implying that, you know, below this first pivot. I wouldn't FOMO into it right now. There is a possibility I'm wrong on that and this is just a stop hunt before going higher, right? I could be wrong on that, but the safe way to trade it would be to wait for more dip. So it could bounce here initially. Maybe we get a reversal, but I think later it goes lower again. This is a large straight dip down. You know, you can see a large straight dip down, you get a bounce, and then it goes lower again. You get a large straight dip down, you get a bounce, and then the second leg. So it's kind of a 1, 2, 3 leg lower. And this is more of a 1. We haven't even had a bounce yet. Maybe we can get a bounce and then we can go lower again into that final destination area down there. The market has obviously been very poor. So you don't want to front run a poor market. If you don't catch the exact bottom, it's okay. You know, if this was the exact bottom of the market, if you had bought here, you know, you're doing okay. It's not, you're not in a huge loss if it does go back down a little bit. But you know, if you front ran it and you bought here, you know, that could be a 50% drop. or whatever that is. I don't know what that is. I'm just saying it's possible. Well, it's a 37% drop. But if you're buying, look, if you're buying the front end, I mean the reversal end, the front end back up, if you can get in early enough on that trend, you're still going to do okay. Like if you bought here, you're still doing okay because you've seen the low was in, and you're kind of safe because it's safer. This could have broke down here and flushed and went to new lows. You know, you don't really know there for sure, except for the strategy that buying below the first lows is often a very good area, right? It can be scary to buy in it, of course. Let's just keep looking here just to see. I want to see some of the other time frames. Yeah, see, this is the interesting thing. Is this a bullish monthly stop hunt, right? As I said, maybe I was wrong, and maybe we are putting in some sort of a low because we did stop hunt there on the 2-week candle, right? So we're stop hunting there. This is definitely interesting. Sometimes if this holds, well, in a strong market, that could do something like this, right? In a strong market, that could reverse right up. The market doesn't seem too strong yet because we're in a red 3-month candle. So yeah, this is getting into a decent point, you know, but for me, I still think with a little patience it might pay off down here. Otherwise, if I'm wrong on that, right, let's go to the 9-week candle which you were looking about. If I'm wrong on that, I'm going to raise this a little bit. Maybe I went too much on that, but some sort of dip down in here. If I am wrong on it, you know, the new 9-week in 3 days time, right, just saying, well, what if we do something like this, right? What if there's only a small wick down and a move back up, something like here or something like here? These two had large wicks, but what if the wick is small and doesn't actually retrace deep into it? Well, in that case, you know, you need to be reactive. You need to, down here is a safe point to be buying, but if you need to be reactive. If we get a small dip and start flipping green again, you can look and attempt for a long. You can ask me again in the group if you see that happening, and I can try and make another video or try and give you my opinion. But in theory, dips into this green candle should still be good buying opportunities because they are, you know, they are retraced. In theory, let's just clear that off. In theory, this is still a bullish breakup with retraces. Now, a bullish breakup with retraces should eventually come back up. You know, in theory, and possibly even go to new highs, right? In theory, should go to new highs as well, potentially, right? That can't be ruled out, but there should at least be some sort of retrace up at some point. But that's a bullish break higher. We never stop hunted. There is a stop hunt here, right? On a larger time frame. If we flip to a 6-month or something, you can see what's happening there. But there looks to be nothing wrong with this chart. The chart looks fine. Of course, the drop is not nice, but structurally, you know, there's nothing wrong here. This could continue on a new 6-month candle and do something like this, for example. It's 2 months away. It's a long way away, so we don't know. But if this was closing right now, this would open the door for something like this to move back up, and then, you know, this could then go higher. So I don't see nothing wrong with this chart yet. It looks fine to me. You know, even with this scenario, you can see that any more dips down here is getting extremely interesting. You know, if I flip that back to we'll go to a 3-day chart, you can see exactly where that is, and it's kind of just where we talked about, down into this sort of area here. So any more dip down here, it gets really, really interesting. Varney on a 3-day as well. A bit messy. Let's flip to the 9-week. Yeah, the 9-week is interesting. In these candles, when I see these, well, I do like to look for buys either into the wick below or just below this, right? So there is 2 places, right? You just have to be aware, be alert. You want to buy it into the wick or just below this wick. So we do need to, we don't know how bearish the market is going to continue, or if we're going to get that bullish reversal, but there's a lot of liquidity up here and it should come back up at some point, meaning that the dips here are opportunities to be buying. So let's continue to flip through here. Again, this looks like a bullish break up, and the dips here somewhere should be buying opportunities. You know, even the 6-month wick, it's implying that, you know, at some point we're going to come back up here to fill this candle. And if that is the case, well, dips somewhere down in here, in theory, should be very good buys. Somewhere here or the low end of here, right? In theory, somewhere down here should be good buys. So if we flip back into this and just look for those scribbles to see where I was looking at, well, you can see, you know, ideally some more dip would be best, right? And the reasons being, well, this is the first major low. Now, you don't always take it out, but if you do take it out, it's usually a fantastic place to be buying, right? So here, that is your place to be buying Varney if it gives it. If I flip to a new 9 week, well, let's look to see what that is, and it is below, anywhere below. Sorry, it's not below. It's below this yellow line. So it's somewhere below this yellow line, which is the middle of the wick. Okay, can we see that? Okay. So that is your starting point to be looking to get interested in Varney, below 12.2. Okay, so for me that is I would set alarms there, to be honest, at 12.2, and I'd be looking at that area. So below this wick here, anywhere below this wick here, I think it's starting to look really good to accumulate Varney. They would be my main levels of interest. Anyway, mate, yeah, I hope you're well. Hopefully the new 9 week is a bit better.